Kagan as his Supreme Court pick. The battle for confirmation has begun last year when the Senate confirmed Kagan as Solicitor General over at the Justice Department. Only a handful of Republicans supported her. Arlen Specter, then a Republican, was not one of them, but now Specter is a Democrat. And after switching parties, he's in a very, very close fight to keep his Senate seat. He's running against Congressman Joe Sestak in next Tuesday's Pennsylvania primary. So how will that impact his vote on Kagan's confirmation? Our senior congressional correspondent, Dana Bash, has been looking into this. You had a chance to catch up with Specter as well.
That's right. Arlen Specter right now is the only Democrat in the Senate to vote against Elena Kagan for Solicitor General last year. And it is 1 week from today that Specter will face those Pennsylvania Democratic primary voters who will decide whether to send him back to the Senate. Specter now says he is open to the idea of voting for Kagan for the Supreme Court. So I went to his small office inside the Capitol, known as a hideaway, and I asked him about this. There are people who say Arlen Specter is now open-minded to Elena Kagan's nomination because of pure political opportunism. You're a Republican, and now you're neck and neck in a primary battle to get a Democratic nomination.
People would expect me to make a judgment after the hearing has been held, after we know what her views are, and when the process has taken its course. People would not expect me to make a knee-jerk reaction before I know the facts and the issues and have an opportunity to make a formulated, considered judgment. And that is exactly what I will do, as I always do.
Now, Specter's opponent, Congressman Joe Sestak, who in some polls is actually beating Arlen Specter right now, is seizing on this issue. He says Specter is backtracking and also banking on the fact that Democratic primary voters who are hardcore party people, generally, they want political purity. And, Wolf, in this case, that would mean voting for the Democratic president's pick for Supreme Court.
How is President Obama, if at all, getting involved between now and next Tuesday?
Well, he has supported Arlen Specter. He still supports Specter. In fact, just today, the senator and his campaign put up a brand new ad showing President Obama, essentially saying that he loves Arlen Specter. But one thing I asked is, well, given his support for you, is there any way he can arrange a quick meeting with you and Elena Kagan so that you can say, I feel comfortable, or whether or not you feel comfortable, and you'll support her? He said no. He said the president has known I have an independent streak, and that's not going to be enough for me. And it's worth noting, actually, interestingly, on the Supreme Court, Arlen Specter obviously has been in the Senate for a long time. He has voted for every single one of the Supreme Court nominees before him, from presidents of both parties, except one, Robert Bork.
I remember that very, very well. Dana, thanks very much. She limited military